What up, everybody? So please forgive me, my studio is a disaster. I just put new strings on the Kiesel. We just had band rehearsal, and I'm tired. But so somebody was asking me about the G. Where I'm going to teach you how I used to play Round and Round, the Ratt song with the band. So we'll get into that. And I just get a message. See if my son wanted something. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I forget what I was going to tell you because I read the message. Oh my God. Guitar players. I chatted with a girl. She did Round and Round on YouTube. Her name is Guitar by Emily. Very young girl. She's very good for the amount of years she's been playing. So kudos to her. And since I used to play this fairly a lot, I'm gonna show you. I'll show you all the chords. I'm not gonna show you all the solo because it's not necessary. But I'll show you the key parts of the solo, how I used to play them, and how I was shown. So first of all, it's not locked down. I just put strings. And forgive me if I go out of tune. So first thing is another note. So sorry about that. The first thing is it's an E minor. That's on the second string. And it's a thing that goes through the whole routine of it. So here's how I play it. Okay, so these are the first 3 strings. That's on the second string. It's almost like doing the blues bend. That's the second string and third string to the bar chord. I don't play a full bar chord because it's a big stretch, and going down, it's not as easy. So that's a big stretch. Now, the other part is E. So you're going to alternate between E. So it's 7, 5, 4, 2. And I slide that one. Whoops. And an open chord. It's like a power chord. And then here's the other part. Power chord D. To an A. And then these first 2 strings are open. So you got your power chord like this kind of bar chord, power chord, half chord, and then with your fingers all the way down. And then go to a B. Now towards the end, the only other chord in there is when it does that. Now I would just keep my hand on the B. That's how I played it. Now the trick in the solo parts is the first note slides into the second note. So you're gonna go. So it's that first note. You kind of drop it down a little and slide into it with another big bend. So that's that part. Now the next part a lot of people get right, so I roll off on that. And then here's the part people don't get right. That. Third string, second string, third string, second string. So it's third on the 9, and then 10 on the second, and 8 on the second. And then the big stretch part is the 13, 13, 20. So you get all that. Then the part where it's arpeggio, so he does that. We'll skip all that. A minor arpeggio. So you end on the note he's gonna bend. And then slide back. And then there's a double note up here. And that's pretty much the whole solo. The major parts of that solo. I don't want to get a copyright strike about or for fair. I'm not posting that fair acts usage bull crap. So that's basically the song. Much it. The only other thing I'll talk about Warren. He's a great guy, by the way. If anyone has ever met him, he's very nice. He's very humble. A lot of people never talk about the way he bends. He does a lot of the same kind of like runs as maybe like a Lynch with that kind of stuff. But Lynch bends a lot different than Warren, even though they're very similar in style. So Warren has a really cool way. So that was chromatic, using the harmonic minor note. That's in Lay It Down. But that's... He has a unique way of his note choice and the way he goes about bending. He starts out of key into key bend. And it's a very unique way where George will bend out of key instead of in the key. That's why Warren's a little bit smoother than George in that respect. No offense, Mr. Lynch. George. I'll see you soon, buddy. But yeah, so like you can use the harmonic minor note, like Lynch, or like Warren, or you use a bluesy. It's in all how you feel like you want to choose to use notes. As long as you start in key and go out of key and back into key, you're fine. You can use any note on this fretboard. It's the way you feel like playing, and no one can tell you different. You don't need specific lessons on creativity or whatever you want to be. It's how you choose to do a note. Chromatic, again. And you know who else was great at that? Mr. Dimebag Darrell. So, powers to you. And again, check out Guitar by Emily. I'm pretty sure that's her name, her channel, Guitar by Emily. I'll tag her in the video so she could see it and she could comment just to make sure that, so she puts her thing on there, because I don't remember what it was. I'd have to go back and look it up. She's a very nice person and she's very cordial, and she's a great guitar player, and she does a lot of cover stuff, which I don't do, because if you could play it like me, why come see me play it? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the Ratt little tricks of the trade of the Ratt thing. More powers to you. And I'm happy to say, I'm glad to see people like Emily out there that are carrying the torch. And it's very inspiring for me as an older guitar player who have played with some of these bands and done some of these things and been signed, that, you know, I'm glad and honored to share the little tips and tricks and little things to help you become a better guitar player and be different. It's all about being different, you know. Even Zakk Wylde said, you know, Randy did the classical thing and then you had Jake, and so I had to find something that was unique to me. So I did the chicken picking and the squeals and more pentatonics, which is great. Zakk Wylde's an immensely great guitar player. He's one person I actually never met so far, but I hope that helps some of you guys out on the hard parts. And let me know. There's other things that I actually know how to play. I can play everything from Audio Slave and Tom Morello and Seven Dust all the way to, I don't know, Road Games by Holsworth. So like I got very eclectic genre of music that I like. I just like good music. If it doesn't appeal to me, it doesn't appeal. But that's my personal take on it. Somebody else, I might as well address this in the video. Somebody asked, who are your favorite guitar players? Favorite guitar players? That's Eddie Van Halen is up there in the top. If not number one, is number one, or number two, and number 3 and 5 and 7. No. I like a lot of different guitar players. It just depends. You know, I like Pat Thrall from the old Pat Travers, Frank Marino from Frank Marino, Mahogany Rush. Those are the old school guys that are unbelievable guitar players. I like Steve Stevens when he was with the Atomic Playboys. There's so many. Bryan Adams, guitar player, is one of my favorite. His tone and his phrasing is just ungodly. Huey Lewis and the News, guitar player, I don't even know his name. Unbelievable. Two other favorites. There you go. Mr. Randy Rhoads. I love Prince. Unbelievable guitar players. And it's not so much what they're doing, it's the inspiration part of what they're doing, because they've created such incredible music. So that's the thing. Eddie Van Halen is talked about as a lead player and the tapping, but he was an incredible riff writer. His riffs, Beautiful Girls and Take Your Whiskey Home, oh my God, Cradle Will Rock, putting the organ through the amp, and he's such an innovator. His hooks in his songs. Randy Rhoads, Crazy Train, I Don't Know, Mr. Crowley, Over the Mountain, Flying High Again. And then you have one of my other personal favorites that could even be a little bit higher than Randy, is Jakey Lee. Bark at the Moon and Center of the Universe. And then he comes out with Badlands with one of my favorite singers of all time, Mr. Ray Gillen, God rest his soul. Taken way beyond. You know, his voice was unbelievable. You know, so there's a lot of guitar players out there, to David Gilmour, Alex Lyson. So do I have a favorite? I would say not. My favorite are the 80s shred guys, you know. There's all kinds, Blue Saraceno to, Petrucci, Vi to, Randy Rhoads, Eddie Van Halen. There was just so many of them that came out. I have good friends, Paul Gilbert, my band went out on tour with Racer X and opened for them while I was at GIT. Becker, Freeman, they're all in my class. I mean, there are tons of phenomenal. Freeman too. The stuff he did with Megadeth is unbelievable too. They're all great guitar players in their own right. Michael Schenker is probably up there on one of my top 5. Michael Schenker, 3 bands, Michael Schenker Group, UFO, and Scorpions. He took them all to a legendary status because of his songwriting and playing. How many guitar players can create bands and have them all 3 be successful? So that's the question of the day. Out of all the guitar players which ones were so good at what they did, they blossomed into making other bands successful? Incredible. You had Eddie Van Halen with Dave, Eddie Van Halen with Sammy. Both were great in their equal right because I'm an Eddie fan, not a Dave or Sammy fan. I prefer Dave. It was more raw and rock in your face. Then you had Damageplan that came out with the Pantera boys, who actually, that's what I mean. How many Michael Schenker is one of the few that I know. 3 bands, UFO, Michael Schenker Group, and Scorpions. Who else has created bands like that? That many, 3 or more bands. You had Eric Clapton with Cream. Eric Clapton. Anything else that I'm missing from him? So that's the question of the day. If post the guitar players that have multiple success with multiple bands because of their talent. That's what I need to know. And then maybe we'll do a video on some of those guys. With the wah pedal, Michael Schenker, and some of his style and playing with the classical kind of concepts that he did. Unbelievable guitar player. Uli John Roth, another great guitar player. Geez. But I did love Pat Thrall. Pat Thrall was one of my favorites back in the 70s, early 80s with Pat Travers. Oh my God, Snorting Whiskey. Man, he tore that shit up live. So, and I'm going to address something real quick. Michael Badio came out with a video saying he's playing 30 notes per second. It's a lie. You know how I know? Because doing this, I'm only picking a certain amount of notes. That's not shred. That's very metally legato, but it's not shred. Shred is... There's no way to pick 30 notes per second. Even the fastest guitar player who got the credit for that, for playing notes, you're hammering notes. So if you watch him in the video, when you start picking like that, then you can say 30 notes per second when you're picking 30 per second. He's not doing that, and the other guitar players aren't doing that. So I will say it in a nice way. I call BS on that stuff. Show me, you don't need to show me a bunch of notes. Here's the challenge. 1 note, pick. $30 per second. Let me see. If you can pick 30 notes per second and then apply it to your scales, then I'll call you the shred master. But until then, BS, boys. No. So, stop lying to people. Anyway, they are fast and they are great guitar players. I will say that. Mr. Rhino Earl and Mr. Donnie Hamzig from Manowar. 2 of my friends. Actually, Michael's playing in the band now. So peace out. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you like the Ratt cover. Let me know if there's anything else, any kind of content you want to Influence me for content. I want to do what you guys want. If it's gear, PA, piano, guitars, what would you like to see me do? Give me some creativity. I'm going to ask you for content for the channel. Post what you want to see me do. Want to see me throw my Kiesel off a 10-story building? Not going to happen. So post your comment, and don't forget, comment with the guitar player, multiple successful bands, and content you would like to see in the future. I want to post what you guys want. I keep posting videos and thinking, hey, maybe I'll play this or do that or do this or show you Guitar Center Sam Ash. I want to see what you guys want. So give me some ideas. And no, I'm not injuring other guitar players. I'm a big guy. I'm not going to beat up Michelangelo Badio. I'm not going to throw my Kiesel off a 10-story building. So just let me know what you guys want to see. And the guitar players. Peace out.